Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make some drill beats inside of FL Studio if you're looking to create that sound. So it really comes down to two things. 144 BPM is the beginning step. And we're going to look for what we call a counter snare. It just depends on what style of, like if you're going New York style, UK style, a lot of styles. But let's start with the UK style. We're going to go to J Cactus's kit because he has these sounds kind of mapped out. In the Divine kit, let's go to Chaos Drum Kit. We're going to go to where it says CS, that stands for counter snare. And this is basically a high pass filter over a snare. And we're going to use this like a hi-hat. So instead of hi-hats, a New York approach might be use hi-hats, but in the UK, they might use something like a counter snare. And we're just going to create this tresillo pattern. So it's 3 notes equidistant from each other. And basically it's just ta, 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 ta. It's not triplets. Triplets is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Tresillo is ta, 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 ta. All you got to do is just repeat that pattern over and over and over again. And you could take out notes, you could remove notes, you could add notes in here to create more bounce. But this is basically what it's built around. I don't know why FL's acting weird. So we're going to shorten the length of this sample so it doesn't have reverb on it. So we're going to start with a dark tone. We're going to start with just that rhythm here. Let's go to song mode. Let's add this into the playlist. And we're going to switch up patterns over time. I'm going to show you guys how to create your own kind of sound here. Let's make sure we do that for 4 bars, not 3. All right, so I missed 1 bar here. Boom, boom. Now we have it for 4 bars. Let's hit Control B to latch paste. I usually go out to 16 bars, just start off with 8 bars. Okay, nextly, we need a plugin that sounds dark. This plugin is very affordable and it sounds insane. It's called Seance by Audio Tech Hub is the company, Audio Tech Hub. So let's just go through some pads here. So it's just a really well done sound. Okay, let's try different patches here. So usually with drill, you kind of create this ambient sound, and this plugin has all the background ambient sounds. I would go support that company because it's a super affordable plugin. I'm surprised the price is where it is. You guys need to grab it before it's 10x the price, because it needs to be 10x the price. All right, let's add this here. We're at G, so we're going to play G minor. And then we're playing G suspended second. I'll show you guys the MIDI in a second. Now we're playing D. See how we already got the vibe? Just like that. I'm telling you guys, that is the craziest plugin I've heard in a long time. Okay, so the first chord is a G minor chord. It's 0, 3, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we transition into what's called a suspended second chord, which is 0, 2, 7. So 0, 1, 2, and then count up to 7. That's your perfect fifth. Okay, so we play G minor into G suspended second. Same thing again. And then we play what's called the fifth of G, which is D. And then we play the same exact chord type, a minor chord into a suspended second chord. So that's what it is. That's what we're playing there. So I'm going to play the 808 by hand only because I want this to be kind of like a mixture of the different styles from Philly to Chicago to UK to New York. So let's go to our go-to drum sounds. If you guys want these go-to drum sounds, go to BusyWorksBeats.com to get these project files for free. Right click here, open a new channel. Let's hit Control L. And you guys could use your typing keyboard to piano. I'm actually going to play this by hand because I want to space out my 808. So I want you guys to just listen to how spaced out I make these 808s and how many variations I create. All right, so notice how there's no like set rhythm. It's just me kind of just going in and just doing your thing. So try a more spread out approach. I'm not telling you guys exactly what to do because I don't know what kind of style you guys are going for exactly. It could be UK, New York, Chicago. There's a ton of different subgenres. Okay, so what we're gonna do is quantize these notes. Let's hit Control Q. And what I wanted to do here was like do a boom like that. So 1, 2, 3, just hit those notes real fast. But I played 3 different notes just so I could. FL Studio's been doing a weird quantize for me lately. I want to know if you guys have that issue too with FL. So just notice how spread out the drums are. I usually add the drums at the ends of stuff. All right, now let's add the main snare. Now here's where we can get a little bit crazy with it. So in trap, we normally add the snare on the 3 and the 7 count. Okay, so let's go to find a snare. Now we are using a UK drill BPM, which is at 144. What we're gonna do is add a snare on the 3 and the 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the normal trap. But what we can do to switch it up over time is click here, make this channel unique, this pattern unique, and we could change up the timing over time. It sounds like a tongue twister. So now instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we could do 3 and 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On pattern 5, let's try that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a nice way to switch it up over time. If you're going Philly drill, you're probably going to put a snare every other snare. So instead of even putting it on the main 3 and 7, it might just be on the 7. So let's just hear what that would sound like. So Philly is more spread out like this. So it just depends on which region. Everybody does a different snare pattern. For this vibe, I think more spread out sounds better. This rapid snare is very like danceable, but it's not as dark. Also for that Philly switch up, let's add a different snare. This one's a little bit harder. So again, you guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pat. And now let's try some 808 slides. So we need an 808 that's actually long. Something like this, just very basic. This is a Spins 808. Man, it's a lot to teach. If you're drawing this in by hand, you're going to have to learn how to do a slide. Let me just show you guys quickly. So just left click, drag this in. So I'm going to Okay, so what we want to do is add our notes here and then duplicate these notes, hit Control, hit Shift, left click, drag, hit Control down. Once or twice, this will pull this down an octave. Let's hit Control L and let's double click on the top notes and make these slide notes. This note will slide up to this pitch in this amount of time. So if you want a faster slide, you need to make the note shorter. So now it goes woo, woo. Now if you wanted to go woo, woo, you need to draw out the note. If you want a faster slide, you make them shorter. To where you can't even tell that we're sliding. And you can pull this one down further. For this bounce, I'm going to drag it somewhere in the middle. just going to go in and add some notes in here. These aren't necessarily slides. We're just doing octave jumps. All right, so it's kind of adding little 808s in between. So right here where that note got in the way. Let's pull this slide down so it's not so woo. It's a little more subtle. Anytime you have the issue to where your 808 wants to kind of overlap into the next pattern, add a note and just turn the velocity down. That will turn off the 808. So if you run into a different section, that's how you make it stop. Let's distort this 808 so it has a little more aggression on it. Let's hit Control L, send it to the mixer, and I'm just going to use different plugins here. Let's try the Fruity, where's it at? Fruity Wave Shaper. Click this cog icon to open up the settings. We're going to turn it to 4x oversampling and mess with this mix level, pre-level, and post-level. Let's first turn the post-level down. And then mess with this curvature. Right here on this pattern, I actually need to make this unique because what happens over on the right side, the 808s clash. So we need to turn them off basically. I'm adding a note here and turning the velocity to 0 so it cuts off right when the other 808 comes in. So we can distort this more aggressively by grabbing this. Just depends on the style you guys want. Now, most people think you need a plugin to make your 808s wide. You don't necessarily. Go to the 808 in the channel rack, click pre-computed effects and mess with the stereo delay. This will widen it out. Let's hear all this from the beginning. Now let's add some more sounds in here. Now that we got the basic structure, now we can just go back and add sounds. Let's try some plucks for more melodic sounds here. Okay, so we're just adding that like rhythm in the background. Let's quantize that, Control Q. All right, so we can keep this rhythm. You guys could transition into a Jersey club bounce for a New York style. So Jersey club bounce would be doom, doom, 1, 2, 3, doom, doom, 3, oh, doom, doom. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw it in just to show you what that would look like. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now for this beat, it's gonna be a different bounce, but let me just hear what this sounds like in context. I guess we could have a little change up. So there's room for a change up. Let's do that just to see what it sounds like on the second half. So we're combining all these different styles. It's not just like one region. Notice I'm not using all these like sound effects and glitches everywhere. It's just not my style for this vibe. Now for this one, I'm going to take out that ta 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 because that's going to compete. So we have about 4 regions. We have Chicago, we have UK, we have Philly, or New York, and we have the Philly spaced out snares. So I'm just showing you guys, you can be creative with this genre. I was just trying to freestyle a little guitar. So notice when I play notes, it's not like, it's like one, it's really spread out and just slowed. Let's see if we can add one more sound and then we'll mix this. I'm just adding these little passing areas. some like filler sound effects for you guys. So we combined a bunch of styles of drill on one, from New York to Chicago ideas to UK concepts to Philly to New York. If I didn't already say that, New York, Chicago, UK, Philly, and yeah, that's it. I think I'm missing something in there for some reason. But yeah, we combined a lot of concepts from all the different subgenres of drill, in my opinion. I'm sure there's like little nuances for specific genres, but this is how you become more creative to arrange your song so that you can have more puzzle pieces. You guys look at the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com. Click at the top where it says free downloads, and it's completely free to sign up. So thank you guys for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. The link will be below the video. Peace out, guys.